Live from KSAT 12. The news at 5:30 starts right now.
First up tonight, his family describes him as friendly, the life of the party, and now he's gone after being killed in a road rage shooting. The family hoping the suspect will now come forward. The family of Mark Maldonado hosting a candlelight vigil in his memory today. They say Maldonado was just leaving his mother's house when he was shot while driving back on September 16th. Police say a male driver in a gray car allegedly fired several shots at Maldonado's vehicle. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The family says they want to tell the world about the kind of person he was in hopes that someone comes forward with answers.
He was always happy. He was just a very friendly person. I mean, if you knew him, you loved him. And if you knew him, you were either his brother, his sister, or his cousin, because he made everybody his family. I just hope that this person's conscience eats at him and he comes forward. I hope.
Crime Stoppers has released this photo of the suspect's vehicle. Anyone with information in this case urged to call Crime Stoppers. That number 210-224-STOP. You can earn up to $5,000 in reward money for a tip that leads to an arrest. You can also remain anonymous. Also new tonight, we now know the names of the driver and passenger killed in a head-on crash involving an 18-wheeler from Friday morning. The victims have been identified as 21-year-old Carmen Corpus and 22-year-old Kevin Corpus. That's according to the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. That crash happened Friday around 3 a.m. on Highway 90 near South General McMullen. San Antonio police say a Nissan, for unknown reasons, crashed directly into that 18-wheeler. Both victims were pronounced dead at the scene. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is hoping surveillance photos will lead to the arrest of a burglary suspect. You see those photos here. Deputies say the suspect allegedly stole a car and used credit cards that were found inside. That car, a Nissan Xterra taken from Bulverde Road back on August 14th. Later, the suspect was allegedly seen making purchases using the stolen credit cards at a Quick Trip and Target, both located on Fredericksburg Road. The car has since been recovered by deputies. Anyone with information asked to call BCSO. San Antonio police investigating a shooting where a man showed up to his girlfriend's house with gunshot wounds. Police were called to the scene just before midnight on Segura Street near Highway 90, Old Highway 90 and West Commerce Street. Police say the man was shot 3 times, twice in the left and once in the buttocks. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. The man was unable to provide the exact location of where that shooting happened. 2 people are recovering in the hospital and a third in critical condition tonight after a rollover crash on Loop 410. That crash happened around 2 a.m. near Jackson Keller Road. Police say 1 vehicle rolled over on the highway. Multiple vehicles were affected. 2 people inside an SUV were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. A third person in a red car was in critical condition, and a 4th victim was treated at the scene. The cause of that crash still unknown. Loop 410 was shut down for a few hours while crews worked to clear the scene. A photographer with the New Yorker magazine is working on a feature project in Uvalde. He's hoping to capture the innocence of children as they wait for the bus to take them to school. Lee Waldman joins us now in the studio. Lee, he started this project 10 years ago after another infamous school shooting.
His name is Greg Miller, and he was living in Connecticut when the Sandy Hook shooting happened in 2012. He immediately responded after the shooting to take photographs of the scene, but was inspired to do something more to show just how precious a child's life is, something he felt was represented as they waited for the bus in the morning. Miller coined it the Morning Bus Project. He's never expanded outside of Connecticut, but what happened at Robb Elementary on May 24th inspired him to make the trip to Uvalde.
I'm sorry that it's under these circumstances. However, I think it's actually a way, in the same way I felt like I could be honoring the victims of Newtown, I could be honoring the victims of Uvalde.
Miller had been working for several weeks on the Uvalde project, getting permission from parents to photograph their kids. Now, tonight on the Night Beat, we're going to be showing you some of Miller's work, as well as sharing the message he hopes elected officials get from this project. Tim?
Thank you, Lee. We'll look forward to it. Back here at home, the streets of downtown are back to normal after being filled with thousands of people celebrating the 20th Ciclovia. The goal is to turn the city streets into a safe place for exercise, play, biking, skating, walking, and for pets. Camila Juarez gives us a look at what that event had to offer.
Yeah, right there. Helmets on, laces strapped, and wheels rolling through the streets of downtown, carefree.
Fun experience, seeing new things, new dogs too. I like the dogs there.
The YMCA of Greater San Antonio puts on this event to promote healthy and active living.
You're not like at home, like you're just sitting there. You're like doing stuff and having fun.
The route was different than previous years, so people can be exposed to new parts of town and new businesses. The route goes through Maverick, Crockett, and Madison Square Park. Casey says she likes the new route because it passes through the gay district.
Fun to say, the pride that we get to see, like the bars and stuff, that's really cool.
This year, the theme for Ciclavia was Mind, Spirit, and Body. Veronica Wong Rizzo with YMCA of Greater San Antonio says the focus was how mental health relates to our physical health.
I think people are suffering from not being out and about, socializing. Depression is big, and so I encourage everybody just to get out in the sun, get out with your community, make some friends.
Some people riding out this morning agree engaging with our neighbors is good for their health.
The community is really nice, and I just really like hanging out with it and stuff. I think they're just missing out on just the tradition and the culture everywhere and stuff.
And if you couldn't make it to this year's Ciclavia, remember that it's happening again in March. Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
We're just getting started here on the news at 5:30, and we are in the days of the aftermath of Hurricane Fiona right now, but it is also time to focus on another storm, Ian. How people in Florida are preparing for that storm and how far the impacts could be felt when we return. Florida tonight under a state of emergency ahead of Tropical Storm Ian, with 2,500 National Guardsmen now activated. Governor Ron DeSantis and other state officials are asking residents there to take precautions. Rick Damigella now with how that state is preparing for the worst as the storm strengthens.
It's important to point out to folks that the path of this is still uncertain.
Tropical Storm Ian is now forecast to become a Category 4 hurricane before weakening and is expected to hit Florida later this week. On Sunday, Governor DeSantis expressing the degree of uncertainty of Ian's current track.
Even if you're not necessarily right in the eye of the path of the storm, there's going to be pretty broad impacts throughout the state. You're going to have wind, you're going to have water, there could be flooding on the east coast of Florida.
Meanwhile, Floridians were out Sunday morning getting prepared. People could be seen in stores stocking up on generators, canned goods, water, and gas. In Tampa, residents were out filling up their sandbags, this scene all too familiar, reminding many of when Hurricane Irma struck the state in 2017.
In Hurricane Irma, we over-evacuated residents by nearly 2 million people. Please take the time, go to floridadisaster.org/know, that's KNOW, to find out what evacuation zone you live in.
According to the National Hurricane Center, tropical storm conditions are possible across Cuba on Monday afternoon, and hurricane conditions will likely follow late Monday into Tuesday. Back in Florida, local mayors are also sending a reminder to their residents.
We want everyone to ensure that their emergency equipment, their hurricane shutters, their battery-operated radios.
I encourage those that are not to always take a storm serious, because you can never estimate where that storm might turn, and we need to be prepared.
I'm Rick Damigella reporting.
Yeah, certainly a lot to talk about with Ian. We will dive into all those details in just a few minutes. But first, a look outside back here at home with live cam this Sunday evening. Temperatures still in the 90s. Plenty of peaks of sunshine, blue skies, a few clouds out there. Some of those cloud tops have been able to grow just a little taller. We've seen some spotty showers, a couple of isolated thunderstorms out there this evening, especially across portions of the Edwards Plateau. But there's a front farther up to the north that's actually going to arrive early tomorrow morning, pushing some drier air, make for more comfortable weather and conditions out there this week. All of those details are coming up in a few.
All right, in the last segment, we showed you how Florida is preparing for Tropical Storm Ian. That storm, Ian, not expected to have any impact here in South Texas.
That's exactly right, but a much different story for friends and family out near the Sunshine State, especially as we head into the middle to later portions of next week. Let's get you the latest information on Tropical Storm Ian. This is the latest in from the National Hurricane Center. It is still churning over the warm waters of the Caribbean Sea south of Cuba as we speak. As of the 4 p.m. advisory, those winds sustained speed at about 45 miles per hour, gusting upwards of 60. Now it's moving to the west-northwest at about 12 miles per hour. It is expected to continue more of a northward turn as we head into the first half of the upcoming work week, strengthening into a hurricane by tomorrow afternoon. It also is expected to pass near or over the western reaches of Cuba Monday night and into early Tuesday, then emerging into the southeastern portions of the Gulf of Mexico on Tuesday. There it could potentially strengthen into a major Category 3 or 4 hurricane before approaching portions of Florida into about the Thursday time frame of next week. Biggest impacts there could be some dangerous storm surge as well as heavy rain and strong winds. So definitely a storm to pay very close attention to here over the next several days. You can see a mixture of hurricane warnings, tropical storm warnings, and even some tropical storm watches have been issued for portions of Cuba, the Cayman Islands, and even stretching northward into the Florida Keys. So again, no impacts here for us in the state of Texas, but we will continue to monitor that system here into the upcoming work week. Back here at home, we do have a few clouds out there. Partly cloudy is what we'll call it here in San Antonio. We also have managed to find just a few spots of rain out there this afternoon and evening as well. It's not for everybody, but you can see especially near the Edwards Plateau area, near Lakey, reaching back over to Kinney County north of Bracketville as well. We have some of that activity floating farther down to the south as well as the west. Non-severe, very isolated storms there, and just a few more spotty showers here, generally just to the southeast of the San Antonio area, approaching Floresville, Highway 181, and then a little shower there south of Pleasanton as well in Atascosa County. It's going to be very isolated, but generally we'll hold on to that spotty rain chance into the evening hours as we see that front that we've been talking about over the past several days finally approach south central Texas. Temperatures, though, have still been plenty warm out there this afternoon and evening. Currently still in the 90s for a good portion of the area. Generally, those temperatures fall into the 80s after dinner time, low 80s by 10 p.m., upper 70s as we head into the early morning hours of our Monday. There's that front crossing over the I-20 corridor as we speak, not doing a whole lot in terms of temperatures, but it's the drier air is what's going to be the biggest benefit for us from this boundary after it moves through. You can see this drop in our dew points, which is how we measure the moisture in the atmosphere that's in store into the upcoming work week. As we see that front move in, especially after midnight, can't completely rule out a few showers to a couple of thunderstorms in the hill country, mainly west of San Antonio. We'll call it a 20 to 30% potential, about a 10% shot here in town for an isolated shower before the day is done tomorrow. Then we start to see those winds pick up as we see them flip in from the north. Some gusts upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour possible. Temperature wise, we'll start off in the 70s tomorrow, still flipping around to the low to mid 90s. But as we see those humidity values drop, waking up in the 60s this week, plenty of sunshine, more comfortable in the afternoons too, with highs around about 90.
I like what you got cooking.
It's good stuff. I'm excited for it.
All right. Thank you. All right, Larry, UTSA got a win, moving to even 2-2 on the season, but they also had a couple players break some records along the way.
Yeah, they did. You know, most importantly, though, yes, they got that win heading into Conference USA play, which opens up on Friday for the Roadrunners. In the process, they set some records. Frank Harris and J.T. Clark at the center of those. Plus, in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator was livid after the game. We'll tell you why coming up.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Texans head coach Lovie Smith was back in his old stomping grounds today in Chicago to face the Bears. First quarter, Texans ball and trailing 10-0. Davis Mills throws to Chris Moore, finding him around the 50, and Moore gets nearly 30 yards after the catch for a big 52-yard gain. Same drive, second and goal from the 4. Mills finds Jordan Akins in the end zone, and the Texans are down 10-7. Same score, less than a minute left in the first quarter. Texans looking for more, but Mills' pass is tipped in the end zone, and it's picked off by Eddie Jackson. Okay, prior to today, the Bears were 11-0 when Jackson gets an interception, and that trend did continue. Second quarter, rookie running back Damian Pierce scores his first pro touchdown via a 1-yard run to put Houston on top, 14-10. Fourth quarter, tied at 20. Mills throws the second pick of the game. The ball is tipped and then intercepted by Roquan Smith, and he returns it 18 yards to the Texans' 12 with $1:05 to go. 4 plays after that, Cairo Santos makes a 30-yard field goal for the win as time expires, and the Texans lose a tough one, 23-20. The Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants will take center stage tomorrow on Monday Night Football. Cowboys backup quarterback Cooper Rush will make his 3rd career start while looking to remain undefeated as a starter. Last week in the boys' 2017 win at home against the Bengals, he threw for 235 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Now the entire country will have a chance to see what Rush can do under the bright lights of Monday night.
I think it's just got to wait all day to play. That's the biggest thing. I think most guys don't like that part, sit in the hotel all day. But we had extra day prepare, so we feel good about that. Get our bodies right, get our minds right, and it's gonna be a fun environment up there. They're playing well. They got a good team, and we're juiced about it.
Friday, Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy said Dak Prescott is the starter when he returns from thumb surgery. Kick is tomorrow night, 7:15, right here in KSAT 12, and the Giants are favored by 1. UTSA beat Texas Southern yesterday at home 52-24 to even their record of 2 wins and 2 losses. Quarterback Frank Harris and receiver JT Clark broke school records in the process. Harris threw for a school record 392 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, Clark shattered the single game record for receiving yards of 217 on just 9 catches, and he also matched his own school record with 3 receiving touchdowns. He's a beast. So is Clark happy with being in the record books after his performance?
Absolutely. I think it's always meaningful to be a part of history of UTSA. If anything, make history wherever I am. So just making a name for myself is pretty good.
JT he's just a crazy, unbelievable athlete. You just throw the ball to him, just put it in his direction, and he's gonna make a play. Sometimes I throw it, and I don't even know how he catches the ball sometimes, but just testimony to that guy. He's been putting a lot of work in, and he's definitely cherishing the moment now. He's reaping the benefits, and definitely appreciate everything he's done for us.
UTSA will open Conference USA play this Friday at Middle Tennessee. Kick is set for 6:30 p.m. The Blue Raiders are 3-1 this season and won at number 25 Miami yesterday 45-31. Last night's big game coverage featured a wild shootout between number 7 Warren and Harlan at Gustafson Stadium. The Hawks trailed by 10 points in the 4th before rallying behind talented back Jacob Gonzalez. His 80-yard touchdown with 4:12 left to play ignited a crazy back-and-forth finish that saw 24 combined points scored between both teams before the end of regulation. Warren kicker Henry Pence forced OT with a 46-yard field goal that tied the game at 52-all. In OT, Harlan quarterback Noah Ferris hit Isaiah Manchester for the go-ahead 28-yard touchdown, and the Hawks defense forced a fumble on the next Warren possession to win an epic game 59-52. Gonzalez finished the game with 291 total yards of offense. District play is heating up in high school water polo. The Bernie champion boys defeated Brandeis 12-2 at Northside Aquatic Center yesterday to improve to 9-0 on the season, 7-0 in district play. The Chargers have been aggressive on both sides of the ball, and it's a huge reason why they've been so successful in their first UIL season.
Just moving the ball, just driving, counterattacks. It's a lot of faith in our defensive players and leaving early and just getting one on nobodies. It's been great. It's been awesome. All these kids that are on this team have been on a club team for a while, or a lot of them have, and so it's great to finally be playing for our high school.
You can catch more highlights from water polo right now on the BGC page at KSAT.com. Last night, San Antonio FC beat Sacramento Republic FC 1-0 to secure the top seed in the USL Championship Western Conference playoffs, guaranteeing them home field advantage through the Western Conference playoffs and a first-round bye. Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey was so angry with how the game ended today, he ripped off his headset, slamming it down on the table before roughing up his tablet and some papers. He chunked the tablet at the camera just as a hand slid in to cover up his actions. Now, he was angry because Isaiah McKenzie was tackled inbounds with 8 seconds to play, and Buffalo was unable to spike the ball in time to set up one final play. Bills lose 21-19, and that's when Dorsey went nuts. And Gerber, we were joking in sports, it kind of looks like you at your desk sometimes when
terrible, horrible behavior. Never have behaved like that in my entire life, Larry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Let's go to
I don't
break.
know who you are.
We'll be. Goodbye. We'll see you at 10.